One of the greatest things about Blast is it provides our guys with an opportunity to improve.
Give me bat speed.
Obviously, they still got to do the work, but the opportunity to improve is there. We're at I think, a really exciting time of the year. Right now, we're about 3 weeks into school or 3 weeks into our off season. So we try to spend about 2 weeks getting as much data as we can get. Good. We'll set up BP stations with different environments, whether that's off the tee, whether that's soft toss, whether that's front toss, angled front toss, machines, whatever we have to set up, so we can get as many reps and as many swings as we can get, so that we can compile a fair amount of data. Once we get through a couple weeks of gathering data, then we'll really start to go in and we'll start to break down where we see some opportunities for growth. Once we do that, what that allows us to do is that allows us to go in and group those guys based off of what we're trying to accomplish or where we're trying to help them grow.
That's kind of what I want you to expect, right?
Which I think does a couple things, right? Number one, it helps us organize as a coaching staff, because I know that when group one comes to me, you know what, like we're really focusing on bat speed with that group. Group two comes to me and maybe that's attack angle. And so as a coaching staff, it gives us a direction to go. I think it helps the communication with our players, because instead of, hey, let's just get in there and take swings, now they have a focus that they're working on. And so we can set up drills and we can set up an environment that hopefully gives those guys an opportunity to grow in a specific area and hopefully grow quickly. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it takes a little longer to make the adjustments, but we feel like it's been really successful setting things up that way.
By far your best one. Good. Where you at, Matty?
This generation of athletes that we're coaching is one of the most well-trained, highly repped generations of athletes maybe ever. So by the time a guy gets to me in high school, not only has he played Little League, not only has he probably played some form of travel baseball, but there's no telling how many different individual instructors, coaches, those types of things that he's had. And while that's a great thing because it increases the skill level, it can also make it tough, because when those guys come to us, they come with all those different terminologies as well. And so it's our job as a coaching staff to make sure that we come up with one common language that all of our coaches and all of our players can use.
Right? I like this tilt. I like this angle right here.
That, to me, is one of the biggest values of Blast, is it creates that common language.
Right, but the swing was good. Bat speed is good, attack angle's good, hand speed's good, like everything is there.
When I talk about attack angle, our guys know exactly what that is. When we talk about bat speed, our guys know exactly what that is. When we talk about rotation, they know exactly what that is. And as our guys progress through our program, it may go from individual metrics, right, like attack angle, bat speed, rotational acceleration, into, okay, my connection score, my plane score, and guys start to become a little more accustomed to those big overriding themes, which just gives us a whole nother layer of things that we can talk about. In the fall, during the off season, is when we're using Blast on an absolute everyday basis. Every swing that our guys take, we want them to have their sensor on and be using their sensor, and they do that. So in the fall, looking at Blast Connect is really an everyday thing for me. When I get to school in the morning, once I'm caught up and ready for class every day, I'm going to Blast Connect and I'm gonna look at the previous day. When we finish the athletic period, I'm gonna come back in the afternoon and I'm gonna look at Blast Connect and I'm gonna get an idea of where we are. I love looking at two different things, right? Number one, I love looking at the individual day to see where we were. But number two, I also love looking at the trends over time. We wanna look and see, okay, whether it's 2 weeks ago, whether it's 2 months ago, whether it's this year compared to last year, how are we going? Or how are we regressing? Because that again, provides us opportunities to talk to our guys. It provides us opportunities to set up an environment that is most beneficial for them growing as a player.
Feel for our players hinging their hips and creating some posture and some tilt to hit a baseball.
My favorite thing about Blast is it gives our guys the opportunity for improvement. It allows our guys to own their development. The longer I go as a coach, the more I feel like what's important is not that I own the learning, but that the player owns the learning. What Blast lets us do, whether it's on an iPad, whether it's on their phone, whether it's through Blast Connect, is it gives our players the opportunity to own their own learning and thereby own their own success. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can use it however you want in a myriad of environments. For us, I think it's been one of the most valuable things we've ever done. I tell people all the time, if I could go back 2 years and if you ask me would I do it all over again, the answer would be a resounding yes.